thank you for joining us on, I'm going to say, the first of our very special summer editions of You've Got a Thing, because there's just a ton of stuff going on this summer, which is awesome. Very much different from last summer or the summer before.
It's nice to have a busy summer. It really is.
So this is, I think, a positive movement. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am a co-creator of this program. I'm the artistic director of the Constructivists, MTA co-founder, and all the things. And with me today, good sir, can you introduce yourself?
I'd be glad to. My name is AJ Magoon, and I am the executive director of Summit Players Theater.
Woohoo! Okay, so for those out there like who don't know Summit, can you give us a little bit of your backstory and all that?
Absolutely. We're a pretty unique theater company as far as Wisconsin companies go. We're doing free traveling Shakespeare in the state parks. So it's a lot of layers on top of each other. But we were founded in 2015 by a group of Marquette students. I was a part of the founding team. I was an incoming sophomore at that time. Most of the other founders were graduating seniors. It was sort of a senior project, right? It was a fun opportunity. It was hey, there's these cool venues in the state parks. They don't get used a whole lot. We're just graduating from college. We had this fun idea about doing Shakespeare. Let's go have some fun. So we went out for a couple of weeks in the woods. We did a Midsummer Night's Dream. We had a great time. And we realized that this was a thing that people other than us enjoyed, right? That there was a demand for it. And so we incorporated, we became a nonprofit, and this is year 8 of the company. This is the seventh year of our touring, obviously for COVID reasons. But yeah, we're doing our thing free and in the state parks. We do educational workshops followed by 75-minute 6-actor performances of Shakespeare plays.
Yeah. I mean, I love the 75-minute because Shakespeare could get a bit and sometimes in his plays they start going off on these tangents in other directions. Not that it's not beautiful and wonderful.
No, of course not.
Always see the full version if you have the time. But I do think the 75-minute versions are definitely more accessible. And
it spoils you a little bit. I'd say that I definitely in a regular Shakespeare show now, I start checking my watch around the hour mark and I'm like, okay, this is not what I'm used to. But no, yeah, it's a lot. It forces us to get down to the brass tacks of really what is this story about? There's no time for fluff for the most part. We say it's all Shakespeare's words. There's just a lot less of them. And it's just a lot of, all of the comedy is way higher. All of the drama is way higher because you don't have time to mess around. You just got to really get into it and go.
Yeah. Super talk to one of your actors and super fast and just high energy,
yes.
super fun kind of time.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Do you only do comedies?
I mean, it's a question, right? We've done all of the shows we've done to this point have had comedic elements.
Sure.
We started with 4 comedies in a row, right? We did Midsummer, we did As You Like It, we did Comedy of Errors, and we did Twelfth Night.
Okay.
Year 5, we said, why don't we try to challenge folks a little bit? We did R&J, Romeo and Juliet, and it is they're definitely classed as a tragedy, but I would argue it's really funny up until people start dying, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think the comedy starts ending when Mercutio dies.
Absolutely. It's such a there is such a line of
Spoiler
demarcation.
alert, sorry.
God, there's such a line of demarcation. Yeah, the Mercutio Tybalt deaths, and then everything just goes
Yeah.
And then last year we came back in with Winter's Tale, which is kind of this reverse Romeo and Juliet, right? It starts off very serious and deadly and and then by the end it's this very broad pastoral comedy.
Yeah.
So we haven't, it's not like we've done anything Lear level of nihilistic tragedy yet, but we do enjoy knowing that the audience can kind of take the challenge of not everything has to be bust a gut funny the entire show.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And now I'll say that because we're doing Much Ado this year, so like we are going broad this year. So we're back. The pendulum's swinging back towards comedy pretty heavily, but I think
oh
it's good.
yeah, I would consider Much Ado like straight comedic.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of
Except
in
for
that
Don
it's
John. Yeah.
yeah, it's in that school with like Twelfth Night where there are nice moments that are touching and they hit you. There's and especially sort of surrounding the wedding. There's that famous scene between Beatrice and Benedict kill Claudio. There's these moments that can be played really really seriously, but I think that kind of enhances the comedy because you get a little bit of like a palate cleanser from the really funny bits, and then Dogberry comes in and the whole thing is just clowns again, and it's great.
Yeah. Can you talk about Much Ado for those who may be unaware
I
of?
can. Yeah, Much Ado About Nothing is one of Shakespeare's comedies. It's a romance and a fairly well-known one at that. It sort of concerns two couples, Hero and Claudio, and Beatrice and Benedict. And the former are young and sweet and innocent and very much in love right from the get-go. And the latter couple is one of the more famous Shakespeare couples before being witty and sort of self-possessed and both very much not interested in each other except for antagonism, and then slowly coming over the course of the play to love each other. But there's a lot of plotting, there's scheming, there's, as you said, Don John, who's the evil brother of Don Pedro, our good prince, and his whole motive is just like, I just want to see people not happy, and so he's trying to mess things up while
Classic
everybody's
projection. Like,
very much. Yeah, and so yeah, it's a lot of love and marriage, but also plotting and scheming and mistaken identity and people overhearing the wrong thing. It's a great
yeah.
time, and like I said, we do it all in 75 minutes. We do it all with six actors, so there's a lot of someone turns around and right out of the gate there's someone else, and so it makes it an even more enjoyable time to watch.
My own experience with the touring Shakespeare, which was just one. They had like the leads just stay and play and play themselves. You actually have everybody play different characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no one who doesn't double. Sometimes a show demands that the leads have a heavy enough lift. When we did R&J, the actors playing Romeo and Juliet played just Romeo and Juliet because that's a heavy lift. But this show has enough variety that we were able to get like our Beatrice and our Benedict only play two characters each. They play Beatrice and Benedict, and then Conrad and Baraccio respectively. So like they still don't have a huge track because Beatrice and Benedict are such a lift for the most part. But yeah, this is one of those where you don't have someone who's just doing Hamlet and gets to just have fun as one character. Like everyone is fully engaged in the gimmick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. How many state parks are there?
In total in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. Oh man, I'm losing all my credibility here. There's a number
How
of
are you
them.
not the master of the state park system at
I
this
know
point?
how many we go to, and the question is, do you count just the parks, or do you also count the forests and the state recreation areas? I mean, the DNR manages a pretty wide swath of property in the state. I'd say probably a good like 40 or 50 parks alone, of which we are going to 23 this summer. So we're making a decent effort. Like let me tell you, we're not slacking here.
That was my next question. That was my
Yeah,
follow up.
that was
Is
the follow
how
up.
many
Yeah.
do you go to?
Yeah, so we
Um,
have 23 in the schedule this year, which is one less than last year at 24. So this is the second most we've ever done in a single summer.
what's the furthest north you go, and what's the furthest west you go?
Furthest north would be up to Pattison State Park, which is up near Superior. So that's all the way in the sort of the Duluth area.
Yeah, yeah.
And furthest west, I mean, we do a couple of parks that are right on the Mississippi and up on the St. Croix rivers, right? We do Interstate, we do Pattison and Merrick, and we do all the way down in Prairie du Chien, we do Wyalusing. So we hit those border parks pretty much all along the western edge of the state. Yeah.
Yeah.
The goal is really to get the broadest swath of
Oh yeah.
Wisconsin covered as we can.
Absolutely. Is Bong the furthest south you go?
I think it is. I think Bong is the furthest south. Yeah, it's
Which is
either
today.
which is today, which is our opening show. It's either Bong or it's Yellowstone Lake, which is next Friday. Yeah, both are fairly south, although Yellowstone is further west.
Bong State Rec area that
Yes.
still makes us all giggle no
It's
matter
it's
what.
it's very funny, and they have to keep a close eye on the signs on the highway. But we have opened.
Yeah.
We have this will be the seventh consecutive year we have opened our show at Richard Bong State Recreation Area. We always go there. For the first show, it was just kind of it just kind of was the way it happened the first year, and then we really enjoyed the staff, and we really enjoyed the people who came, and we said, why don't we just keep doing Bong? And it became its own tradition in a way, just always opening the show at Bong.
If you starting there, do you do like a legit kind of pattern that's like a circle kind of thing, and
Oh,
like
sure.
dotting
It's
in between?
it's not so much the whole summer is patterned, because
Okay.
obviously it's just weekend by weekend. So like everyone comes back to Milwaukee between each weekend. So
Okay.
the weekends are all grouped to kind of keep the actors in a relatively similar geographic area, so that it's not like, okay, we're going to drive 5 hours and then six the next day and then seven, then, like we if we go to Lake Kigonsa and Stoughton, we're up at Mirror Lake and Baraboo the next day, so that it's only like an hour drive, maximum between
Okay.
parks. Yeah,
But
the
those ones up there then have to be what, like a 4
yeah,
hour
it's a good
trip?
4.5, sometimes 5. And we try to keep it easy on the folks and say, okay, if we're going to get all the way up to Pattison for a Saturday, then Sunday is just going to be a driving day on the way back. Just because we've done it in the past where we performed on a Sunday in we used to perform up in the Northern Highlands American Legion State Forest, kind of near Minocqua. And we would perform at 2:30 and then drive back, and it was a nightmare. So we've stopped doing that. We just schedule driving days now, just to allow everyone to get back to town.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but tell me about the camping experience then. Tell me.
It's great. It's yeah, there's the parks are real nice to us, and I mean, as part of the deal is that they'll give us the space to perform, and then they'll give us a campsite for the night. So the company owns the tents and the gear and whatever we need, and there's a real kind of community vibe to it, of the fact that like we're camping amongst the people who saw the show, and come and set up the tents and then do the show and roast some hot dogs and enjoy, and then the next day pack up camp and head to the next spot.
If you got lots and lots of grant money, would you do an RV? Would you do like several cool camper
A
trailer things?
fleet of vehicles.
Yeah, yeah.
I've thought about it, and I mean, we've talked in past, because right now, right, we rent a van for the summer, and that's how the whole thing travels. It's a 15-passenger rental, which is a far cry from how we started, which was just using people's personal vehicles, and just cramming in there. But yeah, whether it's getting to a point where we own our own, just a van or a vehicle of some kind, or like you have that, like, you're an artist and you want to do like, oh, what if we did like an outfitted school bus, like buy an old decommissioned school bus and paint it cool colors. It would be like the Partridge Family. But yeah,
Have a seats in the front and then all like sleeping in the back,
sad,
kind
yeah,
of
set up
thing. Yeah.
some bunks, yeah. So if anybody
Yeah.
has $1 million and wants to help me outfit a school bus for Summit Players Theater, hit me up.
You can donate at
Yes.
summitplayerstheatre.com, can you
Yes,
not?
you
Yes.
can indeed. You can donate, yes, online at our website through our donor box platform. You can donate in person with us at the parks. You can mail us a check. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot of ways to support it if you're interested in doing so.
We all need the monies. We're not going to be shy about that.
Oh no, well, and
Um,
we always say, like, it is a free program. 7 years, no one has paid a cent to see any of our programming, but obviously the people who know that it's not free. Like, I
yeah.
can't, it's not a zero budget sum. kind of program. It's that the people who can afford to support it are the ones who are subsidizing it for the people who can't. Like that's the model. It's a community model, and that's how we get along. That's how we've always gotten along. It's the it wouldn't happen without the community. It has been
Right.
true from the first day. If we had been getting 5 and 10 people a day, in 2015, we wouldn't keep going, but it's because
Right.
people care about it and want us to come back. That's why we do it.
Right. Something we're working really hard at the MTA on is
Yeah.
how to get more, just people in general interested in theater, and how to get more funding from the state, and
Yeah.
how to get more of the people with the monies interested in sharing the wealth, as it were. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Um,
very, very important.
how long is your rehearsal period?
We go for 5 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
So we start sort of right at the beginning of May, and we go all throughout May, and then that's sort of first week into June, and then we launch. Yeah. So it's, for something that is this sort of well-oiled, and everything has to be really choreographed, it's a quick turnaround. It's
Yeah.
it's always impressive to watch it go from start to finish, because you go, oh my God, how are they going to make this so smooth? But it always comes together.
With the short rehearsal period, do you ask your actors to be a little bit more off book by the time they
Yeah,
get?
I mean, I think the question is, like, I think everyone likes to at least block with a script in hand, because you like to be able to
Mm-mm.
write stuff down. But yeah, definitely by the end of that first week, when there's sort of a rough shape in the show, being off script means that you can get down to the brass tacks of cleaning it right away. So yeah, we ask everybody to come in at least pretty familiar, so that
Sure,
over the course of the first week or week and a half, they're able to just kind of naturally set the book down and start going.
sure, yeah. Um, I don't know. What else you got for me? What else do we need? Oh, you do have to pay a minimal fee to get into the state parks, right?
Yes. So yeah.
Hey,
So
I do have to ask though, real quick, before I forget. Can you get a state park pass?
yes.
Because I know there are county passes. I've never done the state park pass.
Yeah, it's super great. It's super easy. So you can do a day entry into the park. And if you're a Wisconsin resident, it's $8 for your whole carload. They give you a little, piece of paper to stick on your dashboard, and you get to be in the park for the whole day. If you're a Wisconsin resident, I mean, even if you're not, but it's cheaper if you are, and you want to just have unlimited access to the parks all year round, you get a state park sticker.
Okay.
And it's $28 as a resident. You stick it on your windshield, and then you can just roll into the parks whenever you darn well please for the entire year. It's a great deal. It's a great way to support the parks. We have, as I said earlier, a wealth of resources in the state.
Yeah.
And I strongly encourage everybody who can afford to get a park sticker to do so. The parks in Milwaukee that we visit, Three Bridges Park, which is over in the Menominee River Valley, and then Haven Woods up on north side, are actually feeless, and so you can come to any of our 3 Milwaukee shows for $0 completely. You don't even have to pay entry. But the rest of the parks that we visit, you do need to either have that day pass or have the sticker on your dash for the full year.
Well, and if you have the state pass, you could really do a big, huge fan thing of where you go and see the show every weekend, much like
Yeah.
the Grateful Dead. You just follow
Well, yeah, we'll have
Summit
summit heads
on
or
the.
shakes head. Oh, yeah, who just come and I mean, I'll say, I mean, I'm biased because I run the thing, but like
Yeah.
I'll probably see it 10 or 12 times this summer. It's only when it starts being like a 5-hour drive that it really gets prohibitive for me to not want to have to come all the way.
Well, but again, if you're super hardcore about it, and if you're a camping fan, five
And it,
hours is nothing.
And it's a great opportunity to, like, there's a million state parks that I, never would have thought to visit
Sure.
before doing Summit. And, we just kind of discovered these because obviously we're looking for places to perform. And you go, oh my God, why did nobody tell me that Copper Falls or Mountain Mirror Lake, are just beautiful places? Like,
Yeah.
why was this something I didn't know earlier? But it's a great time.
Do you imagine that someday you might be able to do a kind of tour where you don't come back home, or is that too much of a hurdle because of people's day jobs and things?
That's the sort of toss up, right? Is that the question of we have a real commitment to pay equity.
Right.
In the years between when the pandemic started and when we came back, we tripled, just under tripled our no, just over tripled our weekly pay rate. Um, we're really interested in making this a thing that people can do without needing, with needing as little further support as possible.
Yeah.
But it's not something that, if, okay, so I have this gig for 13 weeks, and then what
Yeah.
happens for the rest of the year? Sometimes, a lot of times, people can't afford to just leave the day job and do just this for the summer and then have to find something else. It's a tricky thing. I would love to do something where, everyone can just, you get weekday performances, you can do, workshops during the week, stuff like that. And the team can just always be on the road. I've
Yeah.
also talked about, maybe we could do like different regional sort of tour, have a couple touring companies so that you have your folks that are based out of Milwaukee that are just doing southeastern Wisconsin, and then you have a different team that's based out of Madison or Eau Claire or wherever that can do different
Sure.
parks in the same summer, to make the load easier on everybody. There's less travel time. It's one of those things where pie in the sky. What can you accomplish in the next 10 years?
Right.
I don't know yet. I think it's a lot of cool stuff to think about.
But yeah, for sure, you are not the only company who has the pay equity thing in mind, and
Oh,
I
very
think
much.
we've talked about how, just imagine if we could all do that, if we could all be that type of job creator instead of just a stipend
Hmm.
job creator, that people would be able to have those contracts year round for sure.
It would lend a lot of stability to what is right now a very unstable profession for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, it requires, like we were talking about, it requires all those folks who have the means to support it to get out there and give the support,
Yeah.
especially for the companies that are doing it for free, right?
Yeah.
I can't bank on ticket sales to be able to pay folks, but
Yeah.
it's that generosity of people who believe in it and say it's important to give it to people for free. So I'll support it so that they can see it for free.
Yeah. Well, happy opening to
Thank you very
you,
much.
sir, and your company of amazing artist people. If you want to check out more information, you can go to,
SummitPlayersTheater.com
yeah,
with an RE, not an ER. Theatre.
theatre. And yeah, good. Stay well out there, and we hope to, see your face and talk to you more soon.
Yeah, we'll see you in a park.
Yeah. All right, you. Be well out there. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
What's so funny, Aurora?
You're funny to her.
Yeah, is AJ funny? Well, good. Good. I'm glad you think so.
You're funny to
Yeah,
her.
you're funny. You're the funny one. All right. Should we go and see what else is going on here in the other companies, because there's a bunch of companies still that have things going on. This one in particular, Milwaukee Opera Theater. This is their only weekend of their L'Orfeo project. Joanna, we talked about this last week, so you can check out last week's episode to learn more about this. But and I am not the master of opera, so it might just be better if you do that instead of listening to me talk about it. But they're joining forces with Perry on and Mom to do an original English translation of Claudio Monteverdi's work. They say it has a happy ending, so I'm assuming that the original work does not. So that's helpful. But again, there's only 5 performances of this. Milwaukee Opera Theater is a great company. If you are not an opera aficionado like myself, it's a really great way to introduce you to opera, and they're very good at making it edible, as it were. So you can go to MilwaukeeOperaTheatre.org for that. It is closing weekend of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is an adaptation from the guy from Styx, Dennis DeYoung, adapted from the novel by Victor Hugo. It's directed by one of our favorite people, Michael Unger. I guess it was a dream of his to do this production. If you don't know The Hunchback, it's an epic tale of love and obsession and things like that, of a hunchback who falls in love with a beautiful woman, Esmeralda. And I'm gonna squeeze in here because I have not seen it yet, because that's just the chaos of life.
Ow.
You're fine. And so you can go to skylightmusictheatre.org to learn more about that and get in there this last closing week. You can do a double header. You can go and see L'Orfeo and then go over to Skylight and see The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And if that's something that you would like to do and have the time for. I highly encourage double headers. I highly encourage seeing more than one show on a weekly basis, those types of things. See more theater. Opening next week, we have Shakespeare in the Park from Optimus Theater, 12th Night, or What She Will. This is an adaptation of the classic 12th Night story, but it's focusing on the 2 female protagonists, Viola and Olivia. And this Optimus Theater's Shakespeare in the Park used to be solely downtown, and then they decided to start traveling in around just the Milwaukee area. So as opposed to Summit, who sort of is in the outer reaches, the 12th Night is here at the home base. I mean, you should go and see both, because they're both classic Shakespeare, and they're both concise versions. And so, yeah, go and see them as well. We will have Susan Scott Fry, who is the executive over there and co-founder. She will be with us on July 1st, because we're going to come back, because there's just a ton going on in July, and I just don't feel right about skipping it. So you can see her on July 1st, and in the meantime, you should go to optimustheatre.org to learn more about that, and that is also free. We do love the free Shakespeare. Forte Theater Company, they are a new MTA member, and we are very excited to have them on board. They're a new company in the Milwaukee area, professional musical theater. They are having auditions. If you have not heard about this, those are on June 20th and 21st. Sound of Music and Into the Woods, 2 well-known and classic works of musical theater. If you are in any sphere of the theater world, you likely know about these 2. I'm not a musical person per se, but even I know these shows. So if you would like to go to these auditions, you need to go to fortetheatrecompany.org/auditions for that, and you can get all the information there. We, the MTA, are also having auditions coming up. I just want to give you the heads up on this, because we haven't completely set up links to this and everything, but I just want to let you be aware of them. These are going to be on Sunday, July 17th and Monday, July 18th. The Sunday one will be a whole day event, 9 to 5. The Monday is going to be evening from 5 to 10 so that we can cover all our bases. And you will also be able to submit video work and things if those also do not work for you. So just keep your eye on that, and we'll try to get you in there. I just want to let you know that we are always taking new members, company and our new individual artist membership. It's just $50 for companies, and right now we're about to go up to from the $10 early bird to the $12. I know, like massive fees for the individual artist membership. It's really just a tool to advocate for companies in the Milwaukee area, and companies and artists, and independent projects and things. So we would love to have you on board and get more voices in our meetings on how to make things better in Milwaukee. So if you want to learn more about that, as with anything that you need from us, it's at MilwaukeeTheatreAlliance.org. Always have to give a shout out to Imagine MKE, who is the other wonderful arts advocacy organization in Milwaukee. They are the big guys. They are covering all of the arts. They are the big umbrella of visual, theater, dance, music, all the art forms. And so they are working hard to be the biggest advocate for us. They can give you tools to help you be a better advocate for the arts that you so love. So you can go to imaginemke.org/act, and they will give you a lot of copy and pastable things over there. I'm still talking. Please, Mom. Please hold on. Please hold on. 5 more minutes. We just have to remind you that it is now Pride Month, and so celebrate all your friends who celebrate Pride and be a great ally. We have a lot of members of the community in the theater world, and so we love all of our extended Pride family. And I found a good resource for all of these monthly events is to just check, historical information, learn more about these aspects of our lives and community, and different people in our lives. And so you might want to try history.com/pride and get some information from the history people to see why this is important. I do want to mention that Juneteenth is coming up on June 19th. That's a week from Monday. You can go to Juneteenth.com to find out more about why this day is so important. It's really in the heart of it a nationally celebrated commemoration of the end of slavery in the United States, and it originated in Galveston, Texas, in 1865. It just recently became a nationally observed day. So this year, June 19th is on a Sunday, so it'll be observed on Monday. But again, you can go to Juneteenth.com for that. As I said, we'll be back July 1st to talk about all the MTA things happening in July. It's just crazy. So come back for that. You'll see that on our social medias, and we started a new blog on the website, and so you can again go to our website to see that new utility and scroll your brains out about what's happening. One last thing, happy solstice, people out there, since we went back to July 1st. that is a June 21st kind of thing. So do that thing. But thank you so much for being out there today to see us, or if you're watching this later, thank you for stopping by our YouTube or Facebook feed or wherever you are. And Aurora and I thank you so much for visiting with us. And if you need anything, come to the website and send us an email, shoot us a text, like do what you need to do to get a hold of us. And we will hopefully see you in the theater soon. But see you on July 1st for You've Got a thing.